All right. It looks like we are live. Hello, everyone. This is the lovely, amazing Bobbie, and she is truly like an abundance manifestation money pro. Like, this is her jam, and I know it's a big topic that everybody is always searching, like how to manifest money instantly, quickly, fast, whatever. Like that's highly searched. And I know I have had my fair share of experiences manifesting money, but I haven't actually even heard yours. So I'm excited to dive into not only some of your personal stories today, and we can also talk about some of our top tips for manifesting money. Also, let me go over and check in on YouTube. If you're tuning in right now live, please go to the chat and interact. I don't think Bobbie has that up for her, but if you're here live, go to the chat, say hello, let us know it's coming through, let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you're watching the replay, then use the comments down below. But let's see if everything is working. give us give us some hearts. I'm not seeing anything on my side yet, just wanting to double check though. But we're going to keep going with it. And hopefully it's all working. Anyway, Bobbie, tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm Bobbie Beckenridge. I'm an actress, I'm a writer, and I'm a transformational coach. And I support people in living the lives of their dreams, much like Annie does. And I also am an EFT practitioner. So if you've heard of tapping, I help people uh, clear subconscious blocks so that they can actually have the beliefs that support them in what they're actually up to in the world. So those are some of the things. I mean, I feel like in this world today, we're all so many things, and it's such a blessing, but that's the shorthand version of it.
Right. The what do you do question. I'm like, how do you even answer that? But also before we dive further into, I want to just talk a little bit about the event you're about to host because
Oh, yeah.
I want to get straight to that because if anyone's watching the replay, I want them to be able to head over there. So, do you want to tell us a little bit about your event that I'm also hosting a workshop at?
1000%. Okay, y'all, this is not just a hype machine around some bullshit. This is a for real invitation to a 10-day money mindset transformational experience. So it's an immersion. The opportunity is to come in the morning. There'll be replays too, don't worry, late sleepers. But in the morning, for an abundance meditation. These abundance meditations are super profound. And then every single afternoon, there's a different extraordinary teacher, guide, healer, performer, superstar who's going to be sharing their secret sauce. Here's how they do what they do with their most effective manifestation technique. So by the end of it, you'll have 10 manifestation tools that you have practiced, that you have learned from these extraordinary people. So we've got this YouTube star with almost 500,000 subscribers who I have seen you whip up some abundance real fast, just in a short time we've known each other. I'm like,
Yep.
woo! She's the inspiration. We have Lizzie Jeff, who, if you don't know, go to Spotify and find out.
Look
She's
up
our
goddess
goddess
code.
code, our drip, our money bags, our like all these anthems. She's going to teach us sex magic on Valentine's afternoon. We got Sonia Sophia, EFT master teacher, who's going to come do a tap for prosperity. So the list goes on and on and on. Yarixa from Unleash Movement is coming, and she's going to dance us through unleashing our worthiness. So I could go on all day about the event, but you are invited if you are a woman or you were maybe you're a non-binary folk who was born into a female body and got that same programming. you are invited to come for free. If you're a man, you are invited to purchase the digital bundle at the end of February. That's going to have all the juicy goodness in it. But we're just honoring that there is this pesky gender pay gap. And so it's free for the ladies, and the men are going to pay a very affordable price to
Yeah.
get this magic. So, and I'm just super excited about your workshop, Annie, because you are going to lead people through your vision boarding magic, which I personally can't wait to experience.
Yeah, I'm doing a vision board workshop, which this is typically something that I take people in my paid programs through. Like that's part of my paid program. So I'm excited to do a vision board workshop. And yeah, if you're free on Wednesday, that's the day I'll be doing that, this Wednesday. So click the link. It's in my bio. It's free. And the cool thing is, I mean, definitely join the full experience, but I love how everyone's doing their own workshop. So it's like, look and see what workshops are really calling to you and just start. But definitely day one. Who's day one?
I'm day one.
You're day one. Yay. Start from day one. But I really love that there are individual workshops for manifestation through this entire experience. So
Exactly. And a lot of them, I mean, there's such a wide range of different types of workshops. I mean, we're going to be dancing, we're going to be singing, we're going to be tapping, we're going to be learning how to vision board. Like it really is a huge range of different things. So even though it is online, it's going to be very experiential.
yeah, I'm very excited. I'm excited. I'm going to participate too. I'm going to be there tomorrow.
Oh, please come to all the things, Annie. Gosh, it's
Yeah,
so fun. It
I'm
is
so
so
excited.
fun. I would love to have you there.
Yay. But with that being said, we want to share some manifestation goodness today. So again, like Bobbie, I really don't know like how you do what you do or your background or your stories. We've been in a mastermind together for several months now, but I still don't know all the things about you. So like where do you start? And also giving everyone tuning in live right now and watching the replay just some like solid tips that you
Yeah.
use.
Yeah, absolutely. So I want to give you all the background a little bit about how I got into this. I didn't start out this way. I went out on my own when I was 16. I didn't know anything. I remember going to the grocery store with $6 and being like, okay, how much food can I get for $6? So that's where I started out. I went through feast or famine cycles. Even as I started to like make money, make good money, I still had this like, am I going to make rent by the end of the month kind of thing, month after month after month. And that was really tough. And then 2019, I launched my coaching business with no plan, like no business plan. I was just like, I had been making $175 an hour doing like digital media strategy. And I was like, I'm just going to keep on living the same lifestyle and I'm just going to do coaching instead. It's going to be super successful. And I fell so hard on my face. And by the end of 2019, I was 30K in debt. My credit score was like 500 something. And I was waking up every morning desperate, praying. Like I was like, Lakshmi, please, like bring me abundance, please. It was like desperate meditations. And I just was like, okay, that's it. Never again. I'm not doing this anymore. Whatever it takes, even if I have to study money, like even if I have to learn how to play this stupid money game that society has set up for us, like I'm willing to do it. So I read the books, listened to the Tony Robbins, the Jen Sinceros, like all that kind of stuff. Went to an EFT tapping retreat, worked on my money stuff there. So I started to educate myself, and by 2020, at the midpoint of the year, I had already made my financial goal for the year, which was the most ever. I'd never had a six-figure year. My goal was 155,555. I made that by July. And then it just kept banking from there. And so I'm going to tell you, and then it's like I ended up with 30K in savings and investments. I was ready to finally buy a house, which had been a dream for so long that I couldn't even imagine doing. And I suddenly went from feast or famine to somebody who was like, oh, I need a tax strategy. I'm in another bracket. Like, I don't. So some of the techniques that I use to manifest, first and foremost, as our business mastermind coach Jolie always says, and this is so true, frequency first. So handling the energetics, like when our nervous system is settled and when our energy is bright and light and we're like genuinely feeling good and excited, it makes everything easier. Absolutely everything, whether it's a job interview, whether it's pitching your program, whether it's going on to stage, like whatever it is, it makes it so much better. Going out on a date. So what I do is I get clear about how I'm going to feel when I have the thing that I want. And I write that down. I write like, say like, let's just talk about money specifically. So it's like, okay, I'm manifesting, let's say, I'm manifesting 100K in 6 months. Let's just be those people who do that right now. So we're manifesting 100K in 6 months. Like, how's that actually gonna feel to have 100K in your accounts? It's like, when I think about 100K, well, actually, I got to make it a little bit bigger for myself. 100K in 6 months is very possible, but I guess I was going back to a time when it really wasn't.
Yeah.
Well, let's say 100K in 1 month, okay?
Yeah.
So that's a totally new thing for me. So when I think about like, okay, 100K in 1 month, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so ecstatic. I'm like giggling. I'm like, yeah, I'm incredulous. I can't believe how great my life is. Anything is possible for me. Like it's thrilling. And like I can do anything and I feel capable. I feel powerful. I feel like I can make anything happen, like really in the world. These are the feelings that come up for me when I really tune into it. So then I write the statement, I am, and I choose 3 of those feelings, right? So I am ecstatic, um, overflowing with excitement, and open to all possibility, right? So then that becomes my mantra. And when I say mantra, I don't mean like something you repeat over and over and over again, like Namyo Renge Kyo or something, which is awesome. But this isn't that kind of technique. This is actually allowing yourself to embody it. So, so rather than just saying the words, it's allowing the feelings to actually flow through your body, right? So when I was dating this person, it was like early dating times, and it's like, okay, why hasn't he texted me back? And it's been like 12 hours, and I feel yucky, but I want to call him, and all that kind of stuff. Like I looked at my, it's called an incantation. I looked at my incantation and it began with, I am bliss. I am bliss. I'm turned on with the joy of life, something like this, and confident, I think might have been in there. So as I was, about to hit the call button for this person, that's what I would course through my body and be when I showed up. So instead of being like, hi, how are you? Have you been busy? Or whatever people say at those moments, I was like genuinely just feeling blissful. And that's who he got to interact with. And then like he asked me to marry him, not right then, but sometime later after we dated for a while. So the same thing, I really believe that money is a spirit, take it or leave it, but that's just how I think of it. And money does, this is another technique, is like money really does enjoy our appreciation, our attention, and it's positive attention that money likes the best. So if you're in a tight space and you get $20 in your Venmo, then it's like, oh, yay. Oh, yeah, I'm so grateful. There's $20 in my Venmo. Thank you, money. really allowing like every single bit of abundance that's coming out. Oh my gosh, my friend bought me dinner. That's so nice. I love that. I love having dinner be bought for me. Like, do you see what I'm saying? So it's just like really interacting with the spirit of money in a gracious, appreciative way. Just like if you had a patron, a wealthy patron that was just showering you with abundance, like treating money in this like a wealthy patron that's showering you with abundance, not with like I don't want to look at my accounts, or I don't, oh, a spreadsheet. I can't do that. No, I don't want a money tracking. Oh, I don't want to track my money. I'd rather just not even know. Like when we're resisting, rejecting, avoiding money, money will oftentimes do the same thing to us. It'll just be like, okay, you think I'm like gross and weird. You don't want to look at me. Same to you, babe. So I'll just pause there for a second because I know that was a lot.
That was good. I'm seeing the comments. If you guys are resonating, leave a comment. They said that's beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. So good. And just recently, my most recent experience with manifesting something was a money date. So if y'all haven't taken yourself on a money date, can't recommend it highly enough. And just
Mhm.
like being in the act as if space, getting really nice and dressed up. Like maybe you're taking yourself to tea or brunch at like the fanciest hotel, or maybe it's like, oh, if I was super wealthy, I'd be driving a fill in the blank, get dressed up, take yourself for a test drive of that car and walk in the place like, I can absolutely afford this. I can absolutely have this. I
Mhm.
belong here. Going into like, say if you're into fashion, going into the high fashion house on Rodeo Drive or wherever it is, and just allowing yourself, I'm going to try on these clothes. Like I'm really considering this for myself. Like, do I want to invest in these clothes? And allowing yourself to take up the same amount of space as if you had $1 billion in the bank,
Mhm.
regardless of what's in your actual bank account. So anyway, I recently did this at the Tesla dealership and I took myself for a test drive. And now there is a Tesla in the
Right?
in the driveway. Because I actually, what I found out was I really did need another car, a new car, and it just turned out it was actually way more affordable than the affordable car that
Wow.
I was planning to get. And I was like, well, if this is how
So,
much it is, let me do this.
so when you went, it was for like an abundance date, and you
Yeah.
just ended up actually buying it unplanned, kind of. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't buy it that day. I bought it like 3 or 4 days later after I
But
was like,
still,
really? Is this really cheaper than the Toyota RAV4 hybrid? Like,
but
what?
people don't even take the time to go look at what they actually want because they're like, oh, it's going to be too much. I can't do it. But then you actually put yourself there and you're like, oh, wait, this is doable.
Exactly. They had just slashed prices 20%, but I didn't know that.
Wow.
So
I love
it was just that kind of miracle from exactly from just believing like, let me just believe that I can afford all the things.
Yeah, I I love that you bring that up too because that's one of my like big tools that I tell people to act as if. I
Yeah.
if you guys are watching right now and you've been around my channel, you've heard this story before, but I always love sharing it. And that is back when I was broke and actually babysitting. You know what's funny? The house that I'm at right now, PS everyone, I'm currently doing this abundance call from a $5 million home in Malibu. It's pretty cool. But this is actually the owners who live here. This is the family I used to babysit for. Like, Bobbie, I don't think you even fully know my story, but like handful of years ago, I was completely broke and babysitting, and my main source of income was $10 an hour babysitting for this family. And I
Wow.
babysat her for like 2.5 years, I believe, and then they moved. So they then moved back to California after that. But it's interesting that I'm in that energy of these are the people I was around when I was super broke and struggling. But I actually loved being around them. It was an abundance sort of experience to be in their world. Um, but yeah, I babysat for $10 an hour and I was broke and I didn't have a lot, but I started touring luxury apartments. Like I created my vision. I created my first vision board and I started taking action and doing things like I'm going to go tour that apartment and I'm going to show up and be serious. And I'm not going to show up and go, "Oh, I'm not supposed to be here." Like I'm an imposter, but I showed up there going, "I plan to move in a year and I just want to see what you have." And so I went and I toured the spaces and I looked around and I really dreamed it up and was serious in my interactions, even though at that point, again, I was broke. I could not afford to live in one of those spaces. And guess what? When my lease was actually up in a year, I ended up moving into a luxury apartment 1 year from starting to tour them.
Yeah. It's like you said it and then you backed it up with an action and then you like put yourself in the visceral environment of it. This is absolutely brilliant. It makes me think like, okay, it's time for me to, it's funny you're in Malibu right now because my ultimate home is in the Malibu hills where you can see the ocean, not being on the
That's
ocean.
where I am. That's literally where I am. It's raining right now, but you
Yeah.
stand up and look, and they're on the hill, and you can see the ocean right there.
Exactly. So where you are is exactly the kind of house I want to own. And I realized like, yeah, it's probably time for me to go spend more time just being in it. And then just kind of like your act as if like just sitting on the couch and just being like, yeah, this is my place. And just feeling
Mhm.
what it feels like, you know?
I love it.
Yep.
Yeah. So acting as if is a huge one. Get clear on your vision, get clear on your goals, and go do the things. Like just do it. And you might end up with a new Tesla in your driveway and you wouldn't have expected otherwise. Like,
Totally for less money than you were going to pay for the other thing that you thought was affordable.
yeah. And the thing is, too, when it comes to manifestation, people who are very new to it or like they're just getting into it, I feel like there's this misconception of like manifestation just means I get everything free, right? Like I manifested it. Like, no, within manifestation, that usually comes with you increasing your earnings, but through energetic practices.
Yeah.
So, like, I manifested, I do this, I manifested my tiny house in 6 months because I was
Yeah.
30, I was, well, 25K in debt at that point. And within a 6 month period, I bought a $142,000 tiny house, you know, and I
Wow.
manifested it. That doesn't mean that it just flew in and just like, plop, it's there. I didn't actually have to pay for it. Like, no, I paid for it,
Yeah.
but I manifested my finances turning around through that.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's absolutely phenomenal. Yeah, I love like what you've created for yourself and how you've been able to create it in such short periods of time. Because you
Mhm.
know, some people it's like they're dreaming for years and
Mhm.
years and years, and you're like, I just did it. I just did it in a year. I just visioned it and I just created it. And I
Step
think
out of
like
your own way.
yeah,
Really.
exactly. And I think one of the things that you're saying is really important, which is just like it's a combination of things. You know, I have a friend of mine who just like she loved Abraham Hicks and she was just all about the vortex. And I watched her spend a year in the MFM vortex, you know, really being on people literal couches of friends just in the vortex. She's in the vortex, she's calling it in, but she wasn't taking any actions
Hmm.
except going to the seminar or with the Abraham Hicks like
Yes.
conference or whatever. But like no actual, she kept on dreaming about these videos she wanted to make, but she didn't make any of the videos. Do you know what I mean? And so it's like it really is like a balance of, you know, having your frequency be high, be open, be ready for the miracles and like really calling it in, believing in it, praying for it, making those requests, doing the altar work, meditating, all that kind of stuff. And then also making those phone calls or making those videos or, you know, whatever it is, setting up the website. It's when we take those two things and we bring them together that it's like, wow, this is my life. This is my
Hmm.
actual life.
Hmm. And it's like doing one without the other does create imbalance because if you're just doing and not taking care of your energy, then you're just masculine hustle, like burnout mode. That's, yeah, you're
Yes.
manifesting through just doing, which is just like how most humans do life, but they're not loving the experience. They're not even enjoying what they get when it comes into fruition because they're so just like, worn out. But then on the other hand, like you said, your friend, you can manifest through meditation and visualization and just sit and read things and, attend things, but not do anything. And you might be
Yeah.
feeling good, and that's great to feel good,
Yeah.
but is everything just paused? Like, is everything just the same? Are you even taking any action?
Yeah. Yeah. It's totally a blend of fruit flavors, I feel like is like the magic sauce. Cause I definitely did the other thing. I did the, plan what I want on this particular date and then just go, go, go and go hard. And then it's like I get an eye twitch, had back spasms this one time. Like it was just like, and I was seeing other people who were behaving in this way also, super goal oriented, no energetic work, no healing work, none of that kind of stuff to balance it out. And it's just like all kinds of health issues because our bodies are like, hey, I'm just trying to tell you, slow down.
Mm-hmm. I've been hearing that a lot from people lately. All of my clients, I ask them, what are you feeling in your body and what is it telling you? And almost everyone yesterday said, slow down. Like, slow
Yeah.
down. I feel
Serious slow down. So yeah, that's one thing I'm really excited about with metamorphosis, which I just started to really tell people about yesterday. But there is not metamorphosis, but this opportunity.
Oh,
So
okay.
so we're doing this contest where if you share, like first you got to register, but then you'll get the instructions on like, if you share this with your people, you get entered to win a VIP vacation in Mexico at my favorite hotel, body work in the hotel spa, lobster or vegan
Like
tacos
luxury,
in a
right?
cabana on the beach. And it's like really like, yeah, we can really like go for it, go for it, go for it. But it's like we need to rest and relax. And part of the reason why I created that particular contest versus something that might have not cost so much money is because I really needed the vacation. So I'm going to spend a day with whoever wins the contest. But the rest of the days that I'm in Mexico, I'm just going to be resting and restoring because that's, like when you're an entrepreneur, it's like you got to be your own great boss. Nobody's going to grant you your 2 weeks off, your 4 weeks off, your 5 months off, or whatever. Like you got to create it for yourself. So yeah, I'm super, super, super excited. I'm so glad that we're doing this together, Annie.
I'm so excited. And so if anyone's just hopping on now and you didn't see the announcement at the beginning of this live, Bobbie is hosting an event called Metamorphosis. I'm going to be speaking at it. So what she was just talking about with the giveaway, she's literally giving away a luxury vacation to Mexico to someone who joins this challenge and participates in that specific giveaway. But if you want to register, it's in the description. So if you're on YouTube, from your computer, just click the little description box, or if you're on your phone, click the description below the video. It'll pop down. You can click the link and register. And I'm doing a vision board workshop on Wednesday, this Wednesday.
This Wednesday, y'all, and it's 3 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Annie's workshop. And the level of facilitators in here are so amazing. And it's kind of, I almost feel not like I'm cheating, but I'm like, I'm technically hosting it, but I'm really excited to get to learn from all of these people. And so I've been so impressed with what you create for yourself in the time you're able to create it. And so, I mean, I've never really been a vision board person. Like I've admired it, in other people. And I've been like, that's cool, that works for them. But I just actually haven't like really had a practice of it. And so just hearing all the things that you've created for yourself from doing this. And I love art and I love collage. So it makes so much sense
Yeah.
to do it. So I'm really excited to get your methodology
Yeah.
down and like really integrate it into my life so that like that Malibu house that's sustainable and gorgeous and makes total sense for my financial life is just like,
Yes.
ta-da.
I love it. And I will say I've had people come into my world who didn't do vision boards before, or they've done them and they didn't work previously.
Yeah.
And then I teach them how I do it and it works. Like one of my videos from this, maybe a couple months ago. I had one of my past clients who's actually now one of my mentors. But she shared about joining my program, and then she made a vision board using my method and was like, oh my gosh, vision boards don't work. Like, sure, we can try this, but they've never worked before. She used my method, made her vision board, and manifested every single thing except one thing within 6 months. And the one thing that she didn't manifest is happening this year, and that's paying off her mortgage for her like beautiful, like dream home. Yeah. So I feel like I have a special way of doing it.
Well, as a new homeowner, I'm like, paying
Yeah.
off your mortgage. Like, is that even something that we get to do soon? Like, oh, I
Yeah.
said I want to do that next year and it's just happening. Like, wow.
It's wild. Right? So it works.
So excited for this.
Yay. Okay, I'm gonna look over at the comments. If you guys who are tuning in right now have any questions, now I feel like would be a really good time to ask. I'm gonna look at some of the things that were being said. Andrea, hello, Andrea said, I've manifested a bunch of things, but somehow money has. So yeah, she said she's manifested a lot of things, but somehow money has always felt different and difficult. I did grow up with a lot of scarcity. I just had a reaction because Andrea's been in my programs and I've witnessed her manifest a lot of things. She's great at manifestation. So why do you, in your perspective or opinion, why do you feel maybe someone would be good at manifesting things, however, money, there's like a block there?
Yeah, I mean, this is so absolutely common where people are like, yeah, I like have my book deal, I have this, I have that, but I don't have money in the bank that feels like enough for me to just be like, I got this. So I really feel you, Andrea. And I would say that what I've found, I mean, I've interviewed hundreds of people about money and their relationship with money, and I would say that that's probably the number one discovery I have inside of my coaching sessions with people around money is their relationship with money is off. So like if I were you, Andrea, like one, I would come to Metamorphosis because we're going to break all this stuff down and there's going to be all kinds of healing techniques that, you know, you'll get to experience and put in your toolbox. But I would say in this moment, one of the things you could do is really look at what your real underlying beliefs are around money. So this is like a journaling exercise and just be like, okay, like what are my negative beliefs about money? Really writing those down, really getting super clear with those, and then just looking at like, well, what's the flip of those? And on the opposite page, like beginning to write out the exact opposite of each one of those, what I call money misbeliefs, and beginning to start to like use those as your affirmations on a regular basis. And it's going to feel like you're faking yourself out at first. Like to like walk around being like, money does grow on trees, you know what I mean? Or I always have enough. I totally have enough money and it's always enough what I have, whatever those things are. It's going to feel like a little bit fake it till you make it at first, very possibly. And I just invite you to keep on until it becomes something that you just simply believe. Um, that's usually it. And we're going to get more into like our relationship with money, like in the day one workshop in the afternoon, and how to transform that relationship from one that's like maybe distrustful. Maybe it's a crunchy relationship, maybe it's a toxic relationship with money. A lot of people have a really toxic relationship with money, and how to transform that into one that's like healthy, exciting, loving, kind. And we're talking about both ways, right? Because it's not just how money treats us. We really got to look at how are we treating money and really transform that piece. And I think what you'll find through these practices, just like the ones I've shared with you now, and if you do choose to go through the metamorphosis immersion, like it's free, please come. I think you're gonna discover like, wow, I really had some negative nuggets that were underlying my hopes and dreams for financial abundance, but I had these like yucky beliefs underneath the surface that were really affecting the ability to have like a stable, abundant financial life. I
Mhm.
hope that's helpful.
I mean, I liked what you had to say. I find it helpful. Also, another thing that I feel kind of correlates to the affirmations that can be helpful too, popped up in my mind. Something that I did earlier on for myself was like assigning things signs. Well, for one, to me personally, a B is abundance for me. It might be different to someone else. I know if you look up spiritual meaning of B, I don't know if it's going to say abundance. It might. Um, Also, birds of paradise flower. I had a past mentor that was her sign of abundance, and I just kind of adopted it as mine. So every time I would see a bee or a birds of paradise flower or the number 88, so like 888, anytime I'd see those things, I would be reminded, oh, abundance. And living in California at that time, there are birds of paradise flowers everywhere. So every time I would go on a
Everywhere.
walk, I would see birds of paradise flowers and be like, I'm so abundant. And so it's really cool to be able to have things like assign signs meanings. And so every time you see those things, the reminder of abundance is going to pop up in your mind. It doesn't hurt to be constantly reminded of abundance. And really, I get excited about signs. Like I see those things that I'm genuinely like, I'm abundant. Yeah, like I'm supported. And
I love that so much. I had somebody, a former coachee, was just telling me about her relationship with the number 107 and how it meant to her something like infinite possibility or whatever. So because Metamorphosis starts tomorrow, yesterday I went to the crystal shop in Joshua Tree and I was like, I'm taking myself on a money date. I'm gonna walk into that crystal shop, which has like ginormous geodes all over the place. I'm gonna go into that crystal shop knowing that I can have anything that's in there. And I'm just gonna choose from not like what I can afford, but choose from just anything that is right for me. And I was like, okay, like I asked the woman, I was like, what crystals are the best for attracting abundance? And she showed me the green aventurine. And so just like without, choosing by price, I just felt all these different ones. I was like, this is the one, this is it. So I get this green aventurine. My altar is like right over there. I get this green aventurine and I liked this one because it's solid, it's really solid. And then it looks like it's pointing up. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's good. The abundance is going up, up, up. I was like, okay, this is it. No matter how much it costs, this is my crystal. And I looked and it said 107 on the bottom. And the person the day before had just been telling me about how that 107 meant for her like infinite possibility. And I was like,
wow.
so then I go to check out and I'm like, this is what I want. And she's like, oh, you're so lucky. This was $189 yesterday. He just took the price down. I was like, this thing already gave me $82 back because I was gonna buy it no matter how much it costs because I was on my money date. And I was like, it's already giving me I'm grateful. So so yeah, I just wanted to share signs. And then I looked up 107 and what I saw was different than what my friend was associating with it. What I saw was that it was really more about infinite prosperity specifically. So yeah,
Wow.
I love those signs because it's just like the universe's way of being like, you're on
You're
track.
supported.
I'm with you. We're doing this together. And like what you're talking about of assigning signs, like then it's like you have a personal relationship with spirit and you're like, okay, like if this is supposed to happen, I'm gonna need you to show me a turtle, right in the middle of my path. I'm gonna need to see a turtle. And then like I did that once and then I went to this place and my friend she goes, look at this giant tortoise. And I looked, and right in front of us was a giant tortoise statue that was like spitting water out of its mouth, and that it was
What?
like a sauna inside of. That's how big it was. I was like, I got the sign. Thank you, Spirit.
I love it. So good. Oh, I love signs. Ugh. Let me check the comments. Tiffany asks, does online window shopping online count as like abundant state?
I mean, you can count, it's really your subconscious you're working with.
Mhm.
So maybe perhaps for you it does. Um, if it's possible for you, I would highly invite you to go into the world where you can see, feel things. I would invite you to like precious jewelry is not necessarily my jam, but say it was yours, like to go to the counter and try on the rings and just put on the thing, like whatever
Yeah.
it is, so that you can get the visceral experience. I was in India and I was with these like really rich ladies at a time when I was really not rich. This was in 2019. And these ladies, like they had the most extraordinary gems and jewels in this place. And I just saw this woman like crown herself and just feel what it felt like to have like actual a crown of emeralds and gold on her head and just be in that life. So I would say if there's anything for you that makes the difference, like however you think of abundance, like can you put in the comments like what is your idea of abundance? Like when you're living that rich life, when you have all the things, like what kind of stuff are you, what represents that to you?
We will see what she says. These comments
Yeah.
are very delayed, streaming
Okay.
from Zoom to YouTube.
Yeah. So,
So
but
yeah,
whatever that is, go do that thing. You know, if you can do it out in the world, if you can make it out of your house. I know some of us are dealing with certain kind of reasons where we really can't get out of the house that much. And so then yes, absolutely online, do the thing. But if you can go into the physical world and feel and touch and experience, I think that that is the ultimate.
I agree. And I will also say, for me, as many people know, one of the things that I'm calling in this year is a sprinter van so I can go on travels and all that. And sometimes in my free time, I'll just go on a Facebook marketplace or just check out places online in the area. And I get really excited, like, ooh, these are the options out there. But I do agree that actually getting into the energy, into the environment is a whole different level. But it's still good. Like, if you can look online for things at times. That
Absolutely. And I love like also like come to Annie's workshop on Wednesday because then you could maybe combine your online money date with the vision board and like put those two things together and use that kind of magic with it.
I love that. We have people saying that they're registered. Yay.
Yes.
Again, if you're just joining in now and you didn't see earlier on, there is an amazing event coming up starting tomorrow called Metamorphosis. Bobbie's hosting it. I'm doing a session on Wednesday. It's going to be absolutely like life-changing, especially if you're here right now. I'm guessing that money manifestation and shifting your relationship with money is a very relevant thing to you. So if you're watching right now, sign up. It's in the description down below. Click the link. And again, yeah, we start tomorrow. And I'm going to be participating and speaking at it. So yay.
And seriously, like if you have the opportunity to clear your calendar for the morning session and the afternoon session, people have done that in years past where there's this core of people that they're just showing up for every single one that they can. And it really does make a huge difference. Like people, even though it's free, they just took it on like, this is my course, this is my immersion. I am going to have this transformation and I'm going to commit to it as if I paid $5,000 for it.
Mhm.
And they got the most out of it. They got the most. So if you can, come to as many sessions as possible and come to as many lives as possible. Yeah, really, really, really potent stuff. And like Annie Bardonsky, like this is the level of guide and teacher that we have. Like the person who taught me EFT is doing the tap into prosperity. Like
Our
it's
business mentor.
our business mentor, our $1 million business mentor
Yeah.
is
Lizzie
going to be
Jeff.
like teaching like transforming scarcity into superabundance. So
Yeah.
it's going to be super lit, y'all.
And I know we already touched on Lizzie Jeff, but as soon as you told me Lizzie Jeff was speaking at this, I'm like, what? I'm sharing a stage with Lizzie Jeff. I love her music. Like,
She's so
what?
elevated. She's such a goddess. If you all don't know who we're talking about, go on Spotify, Lizzie Jeff, or go on her Instagram, Lizzie Jeff, Lizzy Jeff. I mean, she is such an absolute queen, and I met her in person before, and she really interacts with everyone as another royal. She like really treats herself as really, it feels like Empress vibes, and she really addresses everyone, people who are strangers to her, in the most profoundly respectful, beautiful way. She's a deeply sensual person, and so she's going to be bringing us sex magic for abundance and really teaching us how she does that to manifest the life of her dreams and how she brings about abundance through sensuality. And so really super excited about that. And I sent out the email blast today about the win a vacation to Mexico contest. And I got an email back from Lizzie Jeff that was like, this is a vibe, with like a million fire emojis. And I was like,
What?
what is my life? I was like, Lizzie Jeff is telling me that this contest is a vibe.
Yeah, it is.
I was like, God is good. God is so good. Like, I'm so grateful for my life right now. But I'm telling y'all, it's like Annie, Lizzie, Sonia, Yarixa, like Jade, like Jane, the guide is. Anyways, I could go on and on. But anyway, register. You're going to see the full list of people, the full list of workshops. And yeah, excited to see y'all in there.
Yeah.
Seriously.
We could all use a money makeover, I feel, as a society. So everyone really should be joining us.
Super duper, because the thing is about conscious people, it's like we have such a vision for the world. Like we envision, I'm stereotyping here, but most of us, we're visioning like for the future of the world, like a peaceful world, a beautiful world, a fun world, a world in which all beings are safe and respected, a world in which we're not worried about the planet. We're actually like really experiencing a thriving planet. And the whole thing about conscious people being mired in money issues and being like, oh my God, I'm super freaked out because I got a parking ticket today and I can't afford a parking ticket. Like, we can't have that. We don't have any more time for that. We need our conscious visionaries of whatever type you are. Like, we need y'all to be free of all that nonsense, which can feel so freaking real. Like, we need you to be free all that so that you can fully fund your dreams for this world, feeling like you have everything taken care of. You feel good. You ate the kind of food you want. You live in the kind of house that you want. Your nervous system is regulated. It's calm. You know you're living in an abundant world. And from that place, then it's time to create. Like, once we're all settled and we're all good, it's like, what else is there? Oh, maybe it's time to make sure that like everybody has a house, all the animals are in a good place. Like, then we begin to really create once we are safe and good and happy and elevated. So that's really the opportunity here, is like, let's all rise together to like a whole other level of consciousness on this planet.
So needed. I remember back in my rock bottom days, one of the things that held me back from doing what I wanted was the thought that like there are people starving and dying and having horrible things happen in their life. Why should I have a great life when they're suffering? Like, I see the flaw in that thought, but that was really real. Like, why should I deserve living a beautiful life? Like, doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
What do you say to those
Who
people?
am I? What I say to them is actually, the way that, it's like we all, Marianne Williamson is, a candidate for president. And she actually has this like amazing quote that I love, that I would love to read to you all. I'm just pulling it up right now. Um, our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There is nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We are all meant to shine as children do. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. And it's like, yeah, who are we not to shine? Who are we not to live a fabulous life? And the truth of the matter is, as you totally got for yourself, Annie, it's like once we are abundant and can really feel it and get it, and we have all our ducks in a row so that we have a good foundation, we can support those other people who are struggling. Like once our cup is full, all there is after that is overflow. So like, why not be like, oh, wow, I really see those people are struggling. How can my resources, part of my resources, support them and uplift them? So yeah, it's like, it's a different paradigm than like the old school kind of martyr paradigm. It's like, I need to sacrifice my happiness so that others can be happy and free. It's like, I get to be happy and free, and then I get to support other people in being happy and free so we can all do it together.
Versus all of us in fear and survival mode. Like, we're not really helping too much when we're in that space.
No, we're really super duper not. Like, yeah, like freaking out over the speeding ticket is not supporting the people who are suffering in a faraway land, or even like for many of us who live in cities, like around the corner from our house, you know?
Mm-hmm. Well said. Said. Ah, yay. All right, checking the comments. I'm not seeing any, well, I see one question, but are you familiar with the 555 or 369 method in manifestation? I've heard of that. Someone was asking about it, but I'm like, that's not something I personally use, so I can't really describe that.
I can't wait to go research it though when we're done with this broadcast. I'm like, what is the 369 methodology?
I have no idea, but with that being said, I will say that the best manifestation methods are the ones that just feel fun to you. Like they feel fun, they don't feel confusing. Like if you're like really stumped by a manifestation method and you're like, everyone's saying I need to try this, but you can't figure it out, maybe it's just not for you. And the one that is for you is the one that's like exciting. So I like scripting and
Exactly.
visualization because I have fun visualizing. Like I love visualizing and painting that picture and generating the feeling. Like that's fun for me. But if someone's like in their head questioning, like, am I doing this right? And are all scattered, maybe that's not for them, and do what feels good. So
Yeah, that's so true. I mean, there's so many people who are like, yeah, I mean, just meditate. I mean, when we look at like all the like major crazy players in the world, like Oprah level people, like they're all saying like, yep, I meditate every morning, I eat healthy, I exercise. And like, there's so many people out there that are like, I don't know how to meditate. I've even tried to learn techniques and I just like, I don't get it. And it's like, oh, maybe like for you, like it's maybe more like toning or sound, or maybe it's more like dance and movement that's going to unlock things, move things, and leave you open to abundance. You know, like I love to do like an energy practice where I work with, like I envision like the field of existence, like the quantum field, and then I like to move things in the quantum field that I'm imagining in my head to me. So I like to bring and gather certain kind of energies to me. Like there's a million ways to do it. And honestly, all of this stuff was made up by someone at some point, and then they're like, cha-ching, that worked for me. So even just like creating your own rituals and ways of doing things, your own methodologies, sometimes that's the ultimate. So yeah, I just love that there's so many different ways to do this.
yeah, that's it. I just came across someone online today that she was saying that morning routines never worked for her because she's like, why would I feel drawn to wake up and do a bunch of things that I don't even like doing? I'm like, that's why morning routines don't work for you, because choose things that you like choose things that you enjoy and that actually nourish you. Like,
Totally. And I mean, also it's like, I think sometimes people think of it as like this like super normal thing. And it's like sometimes for me, I'm like starting off, okay, this is TMI, y'all, but this is what this morning looked like for me. I woke up out of bed, and obviously it's a big day. It's the final day of doing all the things before hosting a 10 facilitator, like 2-week experience for free for all women on the internet. So it's like really, there's a lot of things to do. So I woke up this morning really early, like my body could just feel like, girl, we need to get up. And I shot up out of bed and I just went, I love myself. 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 Thank you, divine. Thank you, divine. Thank you for this life. Thank you for this life. Thank you for making me so capable and focused. And I get to do all the things. And I'm just going to be so productive today. And I'm so grateful for all of this focus and all this capability that you're giving me. Thank you so much. And I started my day like that. And I never did that before. Like I was like my own spiritual hype person. I hyped my team like in the ethers. I was like, y'all are doing so great. I love everything that you're doing.
I love it.
And it's just like, that's just like what came over me. So like, I also think just like going with our flow can sometimes, or like we could be the inventor of a thing that we pass on to thousands of people because it just works. So yeah, it's like at least at the very least doing the things that you enjoy.
I love that new manifestation method, just screaming and like hyping up your spirit team and see the blessings that unfold. Like I could see you posting a video or something about how I did this for 30 days and all these things manifested. And then that's the new method, right?
Yeah, if I woke up looking like this, I would have turned the camera on, but I wasn't waking up looking like this. And I wasn't that bold in that moment, but I was like, gosh, this would be an amazing thing to share with people. It
I
really,
love
really
it.
would be.
I love it. I
But
love
we just did. We just shared it. It just already happened. I thought like, oh my gosh, this would be so great to have this on video so that other people could see it. And like it totally got demoed just now in front
it.
of your audience.
Then you can share it in your challenge too. Like I want to start waking up like that and see, because I'm sure that just injects energy into you.
I mean, I feel right now, even though I'm totally complete with that moment, like what's not complete is that my whole chest is like open and excited. Like I'm like really feeling like super hyped.
I love it. Yay. So if you guys are loving Bobbie's energy, like come hang out with her and myself for the next 2 weeks. Like it's gonna be a
Let's do
party.
it, you guys, you girls, you gals, you women, you gotta.
So yes, any last bits of wisdom or anything you want to share about the metamorphosis experience before we hop off?
Yeah, you'll get out of it exactly what you put into it. And if this high school dropout that started out with $6 every time I went to the grocery store can become someone who's invested in real estate and crypto and has got a Tesla in their driveway, if I can do it, you can do it no matter what it looks like, no matter what it looks like. And if you're somebody who makes tons of money, but you just like, it's never enough, or you're always putting yourself back into debt, like this is for you too. Like it's all about just transforming the things that aren't working for us in our subconscious mind, letting those things go, and then creating the new that actually supports the kind of life that we envision for ourselves. So that's the opportunity. And I also encourage you to invite 5 or 10 of your closest female peeps, because you know what they say about how when our environment is something that is like reflected in our bank account, and like our 5 closest people, like, and I don't even know if that's true or not, that our income is an average of our 5 closest people, but what I do know is that the more elevated and magnificent my immediate surroundings are, the more clear my surroundings are about abundance, the more I expand in that direction. So yeah, sign up, invite your favorite people, and let's go on this ride together, y'all. It's gonna be really delicious.
So good. Like I said, I'm not only doing a session, but I'm gonna actively participate because this is such a important conversation and thing that people need.
Word.
Yes. So join
Mhm.
us. It is linked in the description of this video, or if you're here live, just go to the description. If you're watching the replay, I'll also pin it in the comments. So make sure you register, even if you're watching this a few days late, like still come, still sign up. Yeah, we start.
Absolutely. And for our men out there, just know we love you so much. And even though this isn't free to you, there will be a digital bundle available to you in late February, which Annie and I will give you access to. And just we love you so much. Thank you for your patience. And we're just gonna close that gender pay gap. We're just gonna seal it up.
Yep. Luckily, 75% of my audience is female, so I don't think too many of the guys are going to take it too hard. And they should definitely get the replay, though.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's so good for everyone.
All right. Well, with that being said, thank you, Bobbie, for coming and spending this hour with us and for putting on this event. Like, again, it is very needed. Like, there are so many free challenges out there. I just hosted one myself, but I feel like this is such an important topic because society and most people that I know, and myself at times included, have very warped energies and perspectives and relationships to money. Like, it's great
Mm.
at some points, and then it's like, oh no, this is a lot. Like, it's a rocky relationship, and I get it. So that's why I'm participating myself, and I invite you guys to join me.
Yay! Yeah, it's like, let's transform that rocky road into a smooth path forward.
Yes. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, I'm excited to begin
Mhm.
tomorrow. One last call for everyone to go sign up. And with that being said, any final goodbyes, words for you, Bobbie?
I just love you so much, Annie. I'm just so excited to do this with you, and I'm so excited to meet some of the people in your audience. I find you so inspiring, and I love your energy so much. And for somebody who is such a good manifestress of cash, like when you want it,
Yeah,
like
truly.
when you want to whip it up, you're really good at it.
I am.
I'm excited to see what things look like when you clear some of that noise out of your space. You're going to be absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah, right. I'm ready for
Yes.
all of us. So thank you.
Yeah, you're
And thank
welcome.
you all for joining us and watching live. Oh, and if you're on live right now, or if you're watching the replay, I forgot to ask, hit the thumbs up button. That really helps my channel. That helps get this video, this live replay pushed out to more people. So if you could hit the thumbs up button, I would be.
And subscribe. Annie's almost at 500,000. Let's help her out.
And subscribe. Yeah. And send any of your friends to this live, to the challenge, or I guess it's not a challenge, to the experience. Yay. Good.
Yay. I mean, in my parts of it might be a little challenging, but mostly it's a transformational journey. And maybe for some people, it's like a challenge to just show up for their own abundance. So it is a challenge in some ways for some people. So yeah, like really looking forward to seeing you all in there.
Yay. All right, everybody. Goodbye. See you tomorrow for day 1 of Metamorphosis. And yeah, thanks for being here. All right. Bye.
Bye.
And live stream.